Hunt for the Fallen Star. Chapter 17. Night. 3 hours later, Casey woke from an unsettled sleep. An uneasy feeling gnawed at him. After several minutes of tossing and turning, and unable to decide if the uneasiness was good or bad, he sat up. Before retiring for the night, they had searched the ship. Most of the previously locked rooms opened freely, and they discovered several had beds that extended from the walls. Casey had selected the one closest to the control room. He got up and walked the short distance into the control room. Dim lights lit when he entered. He walked to the front and sat in his chair. He was surprised to still feel the rumble of the hailstorm. The view outside was still dark. The 3D image of the ship floated casually above the center console, encased in a soft blue light. He stared at the image, bothered that he could not figure out what it was that woke him. He felt he had missed something, and it was beginning to irk him that he couldn't determine what it was. The view screens instantly darkened in reaction to a lightning flash. Casey closed his eyes and settled into a deep breathing pattern and mentally reviewed the events of the last day. Escaping from the camp, finding the ship, escaping again, finding themselves on the other side of the galaxy, getting attacked by aliens and defending themselves. Casey wondered if the unsettled feeling was fear lurking inside. He continued the events of the day, landing on an alien moon, exploring ruins, wrecked spaceships, monster hailstorm. His head felt like he was piecing together a giant puzzle without knowing the image. His thoughts shifted to the space battle and the ships he had destroyed. A lump stuck in his throat when realization hit that he had killed aliens. It bothered him that the only alien they had even seen looked very human-like. Even though he had acted in defense, he did not like the emotions that began to churn inside. He had been taught his whole life by his father, mother, and sensei to respect and honor life, and that he needed to defend himself, his family, and those in his care. His eyes squeezed shut, his head shaking in defiance. It was not the defending part that bothered him, it was the killing. He never wanted to kill anyone. He had not thought about it before. The possibility of killing someone, even in self-defense, had never really been a reality until the last day, and since the previous morning, there just had not been much time to think. He was grateful that it was ships he had shot down, and he had not seen the aliens die. A question nagged at him now. Would he actually be able to kill someone face to face if it came down to it? He bit his lower lip while his mind dwelled on the thought. When he could not see the other person, like the aliens in the spaceships, it was easy to disassociate the action. But what if he had actually come face to face with one of the Anaconda thugs? Could he have pointed a gun and pulled the trigger with the full intent to kill? James had given him the handgun, but he had not needed to shoot it at any of the soldiers. Could he shoot an alien that looked human? Behind his closed eyes, his thoughts drifted to younger years. As a child, his dad had taken him, his brother, sister, and a cousin on many camping trips. Many times Heather had even joined them. His dad taught, and reinforced the belief that all life was sacred, and that the taking of life should be avoided whenever possible, with the exception being an absolute necessity, such as self-defense. Even in hunting, they were taught to respect and give thanks for the life given that they might live. Dad would frequently remind them that a big reason for their martial arts training was to use non-lethal means to end a potentially deadly situation. He blinked the tears that started to form from the memories turned up from the hidden recesses of the mind. He fought the moisture back and rubbed his eyes. There was not time to reminisce on the past, to live in what was gone. Another realization boiled up. His jaws clenched as his eyes opened. His choices and actions had brought James, Heather, and Layla across the galaxy. He had almost killed them all at least twice. His head bobbed, and he committed to himself. He would do all he could to get them safely back to Earth. Casey blinked his eyes open. He was laid back again in the chair, staring at a dark ceiling speckled with stars. He turned his head to the right and saw Layla standing nearby. Her black hair was let down. The gentle waves from the braiding caressed her neck and shoulders. "I'm sorry," Layla started. "I didn't mean to wake you." She paused, studying Casey for a few seconds. "You okay?" "Yeah, I woke up and couldn't get back to sleep until I came back out here." "Are you worried about getting everyone home?" Casey's gaze shifted to the front view screens. He felt the knot in his throat return, and he simply nodded. "It may not mean much," said Layla, also looking out the forward screens. "But considering the circumstances, I think you're doing better than can be expected." The horizon was just beginning to lighten with the heralding of a coming sunrise. "I don't know anyone else who could do as well." Thanks. Though I'm guessing you probably don't know many who have flown a spaceship and gotten themselves another stranded on the other side of the galaxy." Layla's mouth turned up in a half smile, and her head tilted slightly. Her dark eyes reflected the increasing sunlight. "Just so you know, if we don't make it back, I don't think it's as bad out here as you may think. I think we'll be okay." Casey turned to Layla, his jawline set in determination. "I'm going to do all I can to get us back to Earth." Rays of the local star pierced across the horizon, and Layla closed her eyes momentarily. "I'm sure you will. But if we encounter other aliens, don't assume they're all trying to kill us. I'm sure there are some friendly ones who may be able to help." Casey's right brow rose. "Might be kind of hard to know if we can't understand them." Layla nodded. She continued to stare into the brightening horizon. "If they can build space-traveling ships, maybe they have some translator technology. And Heather's got quite a gift at picking up languages. Which reminds me, when we were going to sleep, she mentioned you found an old gun-like object. Can I see it?" Glad for the distraction, Casey nodded, fumbled in his pack, and pulled out the dirt-encrusted gun. In the rush to return to the ship, he had not realized how light it was. He handed it to Layla. She gingerly turned the gun over and examined its handle and twin barrels. The barrels were each less than a half-inch in diameter. On the left side of the grip was a small thumb rest. She brushed off the bottom of the grip and discovered a latch mechanism. After working out the dirt, she shifted the mechanism, and an elongated cartridge ejected from the bottom. Stacked tightly up the cartridge were over 100 small dart-like objects, each less than an inch in length and about an eighth inch in diameter. He set the cartridge on the center console and looked into the opening in the handle. After a few seconds, she pushed a small button that was nestled inside. A silver cylinder, 3 inches long and a half-inch thick, popped out. Casey watched with interest. He picked up the cartridge and rotated it in his fingers. "Reminds me of small nails." The cylinder moved slowly in Layla's hand. "They're probably more like darts than nails." Casey leaned over to examine the gun in Layla's hand. "There's no ejection port, so the mini darts must be propelled by the gun." He studied the cylinder. "My guess is it's not gas-powered. Reminds me of a long AA battery. Most likely a power supply. So it's electrically powered? Probably electromagnetic. I'd guess it's probably more like what some call a rail gun." The gun lowered and Layla's head cocked right. "I'm not familiar with that term." "The projectiles, those mini darts, would be accelerated along the electromagnetic rails, which are probably in the barrels and then shot out at the end at high speed." Layla nodded at the explanation. "I didn't know that's what they were called. Do you think it works?" "If the power supply is good, yeah. But after who knows how long it's been in the dirt, the battery's probably dead. Still, James would point out that we're here on an alien moon on the other side of the galaxy in a centuries-old spaceship. So I wouldn't try the gun here, just in case." "Yeah," said James, entering the room and startling the other two. "If you're going to test an alien weapon, please do it outside." End of the chapter.